I'm Danica Lorer, and this is Lit Happens, your celebration of the literary arts here in Saskatchewan. Today I'm very pleased to welcome Dave Margoshes. Dave has been widely published in magazines across Canada. He's the author of 20 books. He's a poet. He writes fiction. Today he is here to talk about his work and also about a new book that's just come out called Line Dance, and it features poets from across Saskatchewan. So Dave, thank you for being here on Lit Happens.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So let's just start a little bit about you. Tell me how did you decide that you wanted to be a writer?
Oh, I don't think I ever decided. I just, the angels decided that for me. I came out of the womb telling a story.
And all sorts of stories. You write poetry, you have a novel, you have many short stories that have been published in many magazines and have been shortlisted for awards. You've been in the Journey Prize anthology. Lots and lots of accolades, lots of honors as well.
But that's ancient history. I used to be a newspaper reporter, and the wise guys in a newspaper office will always say, "Well, you had a page one story yesterday, but what are you doing today?"
Well, what are you doing today then?
Nothing of any note.
Well, just a few days ago, though, we have this new project, Line Dance.
Right, Line Dance.
And this is a special book. This is something that's that has quite an interesting history in itself. Yeah,
it does, and I can't take any credit for it. I'm just one of many poets in this book. I don't know, can the camera see this? David Thauberger painting of dancing chickens. Don't ask me. Anyway, it began with Jerry Hill, who's the current Poet Laureate of Saskatchewan. April is Poetry Month in Canada and elsewhere in the world. And this April, Jerry set the wheels in motion for what became this book. He sent out every day by email to all the members of the Saskatchewan Writers Guild a couple of lines of a poem by a Saskatchewan poet, and invited us to respond in some way to those lines if we wanted to. And a whole bunch of people did. Some people wrote a poem every day. He sent this out every day in April. Well, no, I guess just the weekdays. So altogether there were 22 or so, 23 maybe. I think I wrote about 15. I meant to write one every day, but middle of the month I got sidetracked by something else. and then part of the invitation was to send these poems to him. And I think it was his intention to pick the best and have some kind of a reading. But in the meantime, then enter Berna Barkley, who's a Regina writer who has recently started a small publishing house called Burton House Books. And she thought, what a great idea. I bet this would make a good book. And it has, in fact. There's about 20 poets in here. It's a really good cross-section of poetry in Saskatchewan. And Saskatchewan has a history of poetry anthologies going back 30 years or more, but there hasn't been one probably for the last 10 years or so. So it's a valuable book if you think poetry is valuable, well, which I do, and you do.
I do too. Well, would you like to read us one of your poems?
Yeah, sure. I will. This is the opening poem in the book. It's called Stuck in the Middle. Stuck in the middle of your own life. Oh, I should read the lines that inspired it, that prompted it. Where are they? Oh yeah, this is 2 lines from a poem by Bill Robertson, a Saskatoon poet who everybody knows, if for no other reason. He writes a lot of book reviews in the Star Peanuts. Stuck in the middle of open space somewhere. Those are lines lifted from his poem. And this was my response. Stuck in the middle of your own life, There is temptation to pause, take stock, count your blessings and curses, weigh the balance. On the one hand, this, on the other, that. The sum total of your life to date laid out behind you like an awards night red carpet, frayed at the edges. All the rest of your life ahead of you, just beyond a horizon obscured by fog. Here in the middle, you can get dizzy, looking one way and the other, your head a pendulum on the thin wire of breath and blood, looking back at what was, forward at what might be, what will be, when you finally take a step.
Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so this collection, Jerry then chose the poems
Yes,
that came into this collection. And where can people find this book?
Surprisingly, in bookstores. That's a place where they sell books.
But for sure at McNally.
McNally Robinson, as a matter of fact, there was a reading from it 2 weeks ago, complete with people line dancing. Line dance, that's a little play on words. Anyway, and sure enough, I was at McNally Robinson this week, or a few days ago, and I noticed that it was number 5 on their bestseller list.
Excellent.
So probably makes a good Christmas present.
Or for any time of the year. Nice. I think it's lovely to take a little bit of Saskatchewan, especially when you're going somewhere else in the country or in the world. And something like this, like you said, it has a good cross-section of people and stories from across the province.
Do I have time to plug something else I've done recently?
Fantastic. Yes, please.
Well, in addition to my own writing, I also do a lot of book editing. And I recently had the pleasure, honor maybe, of editing what I guess will be the final book from W.F. Kinsella, Bill Kinsella, the author of Shoeless Joe, famously became the movie Field of Dreams. It's a collection of short stories and a novel. The novel is about a writer, and encased within the novel are about 30 short stories. Some of them, all of them good, some of them brilliant. The book is called Russian Dolls. It's just been published. And as you probably know, Bill Kinsella died in September. In fact, he died just a week after we finished editing the book. So I think he was ailing. He had kidney failure, the result of, the blood sugar disease. What the hell is that called?
Diabetes?
Diabetes, yeah, thank you. And he was in really poor health. And I think he was just sort of holding on while we were editing this book. And soon thereafter, he was one of the first high-profile people to take advantage of assisted dying in Canada. Mm. And anyway, the book is called Russian Dolls. It's in bookstores now, and it would make a wonderful Christmas present.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Dave. That's really all the time we have to talk about today. So you've shared so much about the other...
I wanted to talk about you.
Well, and it would be great to have you back to talk about some of your other work on the show sometime.
All right.
But thank you so much. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
You're welcome.
I'm Danica Lorer. This has been Lit Happens. You can find past episodes by going to YouTube and searching out Shaw TV Saskatoon. You can connect with me on Facebook or YouTube. And if you'd like to talk about your own work, you can contact me at danicalorer@gmail.com. Thank you.